Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we are going to install a Linux Centos system on a VirtualBox. So what we're going to do, we are first going to install VirtualBox on our machine, or I would say on my laptop. I did already install that, but I'll walk you through how you can install virtual machine, and then we will install VirtualBox, and then we'll install virtual machine on the VirtualBox. So I'll be showing you all of those resources where I'm going to download, and then we are going to install our Linux machine on that. So first, let's try to install Oracle VirtualBox as a virtualization software. So we'll go to Oracle VirtualBox website, and this is the site there. They have all the download options. So once we click on Oracle VM VirtualBox, it's going to show us this download VirtualBox option. We're going to click on this, and then over here it's going to show us the platform that we can install this VirtualBox on. We have Windows platform that we can install on. We have Mac OS, Linux distributions, Laurus, and all of those different distribution. Since I'm using Mac, and I did already install, but you can click on any of the hosts that you're trying to use. So if you're using Windows, you can click on this, and if you're using Mac, you can click on this. So once you click on this, it's going to install the package on your machine in your download folder, and that's where you can just double click on that package, and it's going to let you follow the step and install VirtualBox on your laptop. So once you install the VirtualBox, this is how it's gonna look like. So in this, we are going to bring our machine, or I would say install our machines on the VirtualBox right now. You see my one machine is already installed. When I say machines, my system, or I would say my Linux server, whatever, either you want to install Linux server, Windows server, whatnot, you can follow this path. Now we are going to add a Linux server over here. For that Linux server, we need to have an image for that server. It's the same thing that whenever we try to install our Windows, we do bring some CDs or DVDs or whatnot, or USB flash, install our Windows on our bare metal. Is the same thing. We need to have some sort of ISO to install our virtual machine on this. So how do we get that ISO for Linux? I am going to use CentOS Linux virtual machine, or I would say operating system. So for that, we need to go to their website. So let's go to CentOS, and this is their download option right here in CentOS.org website. Just want to make sure you go to the right website. This is their website, and click on download option. Over here, they have different CentOS options. So all we need to do, we need to find the architect that our system supports. So for me, I'm going to use our 64, and it's going to take us to a different page where we have all the ISOs available in here in this page. So I would just try to download 2009 7.9 version with the 64 architect. So I'll just click on this, and it's going to give us another page where we have all the options for our ISOs. So what you need to do is just try to download the first one ISO extension with this one with the 4 GB size. Once you click on this, it's going to let you install on your desktop or whatever system you're using. Since I already installed that, so we don't need to do that again, but in your case, you may need to click on this first option, install that on your system. So once you install on your system, this is how it's gonna show you. Let me go back to my other screen, desktop, and I have Splunk, and I have ISO folder over here. This is how it's gonna bring you. All right, so now since we have all of those things, now we need to install a virtual machine in here. So once you're on this page, just click on these tools, and it will show you over here different options: preferences, import, export, new, and add. So what we're going to use is we're going to use new option right here, and it's going to give us the different configuration option for that machine. So I'm going to name it. You can name whatever you want to. So I'm going to name it ES search head, or I would say SH. And the folder where you want to save your machines, like this entire server, you can choose whatever folder you want to choose. But I'm just choosing my default folder that I have. Over here, this is the option where we need to attach our ISO that we just downloaded. So we'll click on this option and we'll go to another directory, and I have my desktop, Splunk, ISOs, and this is the first one that I want to use is a 7 CentOS 7. So we'll click on this. So you can skip this option, unattended installation, and you can move to the next. Over here, it's going to access the memory that we want to assign and the CPUs. So I'm going to use 4 GB RAM for this one. You can choose whatever RAM you want to assign to this machine, and the recommended Splunk installation is 8 GB, but since I do not have enough resources, I will just pick the 4 GB in here. And for the processes, I will just use 2. You can choose if you have the recommended is more than 12, but since this is going to be our okay, so this is the configuration that whatever we did for this machine. Now we're going to just finish and start this machine. And we can start this machine by clicking on the start button, and it's going to start the machine like this. It's pretty small, and I will auto scale it to scale mode. So now we have 2 options to select. I don't want to test installation video. I'll just go ahead and install CentOS on this machine, and it's going to start installing machine on my VirtualBox. So over here we have an option to select the language. So I'll use English and press enter to continue this. And on this page, it's going to show us some warning sign. That's what we want to just check. And if we see any warning sign, we'll need to address that. So let me use tab key in here. It says installation destination. So let me see installation destination, use the tab key and press enter. So this is something that they want us to just make sure that wherever we're going to install this VirtualBox ISO on our virtual hard disk. So I'll just press enter, done it. And then it's going to start installation. Just set the password for the root user, and we'll create a user at the end of the once we're logged into the system. So the password, you can choose any password. This is going to be my password. It has started the installation on our VirtualBox. I'm going to pause this video because I know this is going to take some time. We'll be right back when it pops up to the next page. This is going to finish the machine installation. It's going to show us this page complete with the reboot option. So we're going to reboot this machine now, and it's going to bring us this terminal once you have this reboot done. We just need a login page. Okay, so this is a login page that we're expecting to the end of the installation. So you remember we were to set the user for this machine. So it's a root user. This is where you want to log into, and the password, whatever you're gonna set. The password that I set, it's going to be logged in. So once you see root at localhost.com, means you are logged into the machine. Now we have technically installed our Linux server, CentOS Linux server on our VirtualBox, but we need to make few changes so that we can communicate to our external internet, or I would say internet. So for that, we need to edit few networking files. So I would use VIADDR. VIADDR is just like an editor, one of the editors in Linux operating system that you can use to edit files in here. So for that, we need to edit at sysconfig network scripts and if-e30. All right, on this file, we have the network settings, or I would say the network port setting that we can manipulate to talk this machine to an external thing. So over here, we need to do two things. First, we need to make our IP static, and the second thing we need to do is we need to have our DNS setting over here. So the changes that you need to make over here is to do this BOOTPROTO. It's DSCP set. We need to set it to none. We don't need to use this, and then we need to do this ONBOOT to yes, and then we need to add few more lines over here. IPADDR. We're going to assign a static IP over here, so you can assign any free static IP in your local private IP range. So in my private IP range, I'm going to assign this one. This is my private IP range, and then I can assign, I guess, 201. And then I need to assign, of course, I need to tell this machine my NETMASK, and you can run ipconfig command on Windows machine and ifconfig command on Linux machine to find this information on your local network router. So my NETMASK is this one, 255.255.255.0. We have IP address, we have NETMASK. Now I need to assign my gateway. So gateway, you can also find that information from the same command. My gateway is the router IP address 168.1.254. That's my gateway. You and I do not have DNS server as well, so I'm just going to use Google's DNS to resolve our naming convention to the internet. So I'll use DNS1 Google IP. This is a Google IP that we can use, and let's just add another DNS as well. So DNS2 equal .4. Yeah, this is their IP, I guess. Yeah, and then we can also try to just add prefix as well. It doesn't hurt. So in my case, it's going to be 24. You can check in your network setting you have in for your IP. All right, so that's the information that we needed to add to this file. Let me again clear this screen and show you the file that you want to edit this file to. It's etc sysconfig network scripts if cfg-enp0s. This is a file that we made all changes. Since we made the changes to network file, now we need to restart our network. So to restart our network, we need to run this command systemctl restart network. It's going to start our network. Now let's just check the IP. Here, IPADDR show. This is the IP that we just assigned to this machine, and the prefix it's going to show us right here. Now let's just try to ping google.com, and we are not getting any response from google.com. So we need to do something over here. Let me Control-C this. Let's go back to our VirtualBox. So this is the VirtualBox where we have this machine is running. Once you select this and click on the settings, we need to go to network, and over here it says NAT. I don't need to have a NAT. I need to have bridged adapter, since I'm going to bridge my network from my virtual machine to my local computer to outside world. So we need to select this bridge adapter over here, and I'm going to select OK, and let's go back to our Google. Control-C. Let's just run again ping google.com. Ping is the command that we can use to Google to connect to our server. So we can see this traffic. Once you see this kind of traffic over here, this means this virtual machine is able to talk to the internet. We just did a real quick troubleshoot to fix that issue.